Welcome back to my garage. As you know, I've been doing this conversion on this F-150 from EFI converting to carbureted. We are making a lot of headway. I know I haven't really done much in the videos lately. Haven't really had a lot of people or a lot of views interested either, but we'll continue on. I do have some videos on YouTube, if you may have missed any. I have started putting some of them on TikTok. But here's where we're at. We have essentially, we've already taken and removed the fuel tank and reinstalled it, cleaned it out. I plugged off the return line on this tank. The fuel pump, the new inline fuel pump, mind you, I did take the one out of the tank here. That went pretty decent, and there it is. The only thing I have left here on the fuel pump, because I had the fuel line run all the way up towards the carburetor, is to, of course, tie these wires up. But all I gotta do is wire this pump up, and I'm not sure whether I want to put it on the ignition or if I'm going to put a toggle switch and just run it separately that way. Give me your opinions. Kind of curious to see what you prefer. I mean, yeah, the ignition switch is the easy way, but if something fails there, then I just don't have power. So that is set. I had a lot of difficulty under the hood here with my distributor. Carburetor is mounting. I did sort through my wiring. This is going to be my hot wire for the coil. I've got my hot wire for my electric choke all set up. I've got my plug here for my temperature sensor, which is up here, and the oil pressure sensor back there. So I did gut the wiring. Of course, I put those nice cute little vents there. I did that just to help keep from blowing oil all over the place. But my biggest issue I've had was right there, this tower for the coolant, which is really interfering with my distributor here. Very little movement as far as being able to time this truck once I get it fired. But I have it set pretty close to where my number one is going to be, which I can take the cap off here and show you. What I'm going to do. See where I'm pointing at right there with that rotor button, is I'm setting my cap on here. So this is going to be number one right here. And then of course this turns counterclockwise on this truck, this 5.0. So that's going to be my number one, and that'll give me room for adjustment. So that's next. Essentially what I have here is to wire my pump, as I said, and then put my spark plug wires on, get some coolant here, and I do need to drain the oil, make sure there's no garbage going through that engine. And this thing should be ready to go. I did take the carburetor apart. I took the bowls off front and rear on this Holley, and glad that I did. I really boiled down to that the forward vent was plugged. And I know it was an eBay carburetor. It wasn't, but it's not against the owner. It's nothing like that at all. It was just a simple fact as storage. Who stored it? Where did he get it from? I didn't want to throw it on there without knowing for sure. Come to find out, mud daubers plugged up the forward vent, and there was actually dirt in the forward and rear bowls. Therefore, that would have definitely plugged the jets. It would have plugged it up. It would have given me difficulty right from the get-go. Simple, 4 bolts, take it off. Take a look at it. Check it out. Unless you bought a brand spanking new one. And even then, you never know. But yeah, that's what I'm working on now. I did pretty much caught up on everything here as far as the overview. Now, just so you know, some of these looms here, as you can tell, of course I used some of the old looms, but that right there is not a loom. It's actually rubber hose. old hose to help protect my wiring. So as you can tell, all this wiring here, this whole bundle of wire, this is all wires that I'm not going to be using on this engine that came off of that harness. That's junk. But don't throw your parts away until you're complete. And that's where them old hoses come in handy. I used them for looms instead of going out and buying looms. Those rubber hoses, they're not made out of plastic. They're not, Don't be in such a rush to throw something away until your project is indeed complete. When you're complete and you know everything's kosher and you don't need any of it for sure, have at it. But to be on the safe side, save it. Might only be a couple of days before it hits the file 13. Well, all right, folks, I think I've got you pretty well caught up. Yeah, it's just a matter of me getting... Oh yeah, I was going to touch on the firing order on these things. Now, cheat a little bit. I do like everybody else. I go online and I get it online as far as the firing order. Of course, like I said, it turns counterclockwise. Old mail works out good to write on. You see that number 1542 in the counterclockwise motion was what the distributor goes. But on these 5-0s, if you're looking for what is what, on the passenger side, forward here is number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then it moves on to the driver's side, and that'll be number 5, 6, 7, and 8. So that's the order they're on the engine itself. So it's, when I go number 1, it's going to go here. Number 5, which is over here, comes here. Then number 4 back there comes here on the front here. And I know my camera's not really doing the greatest here, but that's going to be the wiring order that this is going in. Other than that, folks, I think we're pretty well caught up on the video as to what has been done and what's going on and what we're going to do. So, thanks again. Subscribe, push the notification button, whatever it is that makes your little heart content. Thanks for viewing, and we'll get back with you. Hopefully, we get back to you when we fire this old girl up, see what we got. Thanks again. Talk to you later.